Most people want the results of creation. Very few want the reality of creation. They want the business, but not the years of building. The confidence, but not the awkward beginning. The audience, but not the empty room. The skill, but not the repetitions. The finished product, but not the work required to produce it. Because creation is uncomfortable. Consumption is comfortable. Consumption asks nothing from you. Creation asks everything. Your effort, your attention, your competence, your courage, your willingness to be judged, which is why modern life is producing an increasing number of spectators and a decreasing number of contributors. People who watch, people who analyze, people who comment, people who prepare, people who wait, while a much smaller group quietly creates. And over time, those groups become very different people. Consumption hides weakness. Creation exposes it. You can watch videos about public speaking for years, but the moment you stand in front of a room, reality appears. You can study business endlessly, but the moment you ask someone to buy, reality appears. You can read about fitness, but the workout reveals reality. Creation is honest. It immediately shows what you know, what you do not know, what works, what does not work, where you are strong, and where you need improvement. Many people unconsciously avoid creation for this reason, because consuming information protects the ego. Creating something tests it. Builders understand this. They do not use creation to prove that they are capable. They use creation to discover what capability still needs to be developed. Imagine two people. The first consumes 300 hours of information. The second spends those same 300 hours creating, writing, building, selling, designing, publishing, practicing, improving. Which person develops more evidence? Which person develops more skill? Which person develops more confidence? More opportunities? The answer is obvious. Because the world rarely rewards intentions, the world rewards outputs. People can only respond to what exists. A published article, a problem solved, a completed project, a useful service, a finished product. Output creates visibility. Output creates opportunity. Output creates feedback. Output creates growth. Without output, potential remains invisible. Many people believe competence creates creation. Often the opposite is true. Creation creates competence. Nobody begins as an expert. Nobody begins polished. Nobody begins confident. The creator becomes capable through repetition. The writer improves by writing. The speaker improves by speaking. The entrepreneur improves by selling. The artist improves by creating, and the builder improves by building. This is why waiting to become good enough before starting is such a destructive strategy, because the process itself creates improvement. The path appears while moving, not before. Builders understand this. That is why they start earlier. Not because they know more, it is because they understand that action teaches lessons that information never can. Creating privately has value, but publishing publicly creates acceleration, because publication introduces accountability, feedback, consequences, improvement pressure, reality testing. When the work remains hidden, growth often remains slow. When work becomes visible, improvement accelerates. This is why publishing matters. Not because every creation must become popular. It's because publication transforms imagination into reality. The moment something is released into the world, it becomes evidence. Evidence that you participated. Evidence that you attempted. Evidence that you contributed. Most spectators never reach this step. Builders do. And that single difference compounds over the years. Here is the secret to the future. The future increasingly rewards useful contribution. Not noise, not intention, not endless commentary. Contribution. The ability to create something that improves another person's life. A solution. A service. An insight. A product. A system. A teaching. A tool. Something useful. The modern world already contains endless consumers. What it needs increasingly are contributors. People who can create value repeatedly. People who can solve problems repeatedly. People who can improve situations repeatedly. Because contribution creates trust, and trust creates opportunity. So here is what you do tomorrow. Before consuming unnecessary content, create something. One thing. Small, simple, real. Write one page. Record one video. Publish one idea. Improve one system. Solve one problem. Finish one piece of work. Then publish it. Not next month, tomorrow. Then repeat the process for 7 consecutive days. The goal here is not perfection. The goal is participation. Because every day you create evidence, you become less of a spectator and more of a contributor. That identity shift matters far more than most people realize. Most separation happens quietly, not dramatically. While one person consumes, another person creates. One waits, the other publishes. One prepares endlessly, while the other participates immediately. At first, the difference appears small. Months later, it becomes noticeable. Years later, it becomes enormous because output compounds, skill compounds, relationship compounds, opportunities compound, and more importantly, reputation compounds. And eventually, the contributor develops something that spectators rarely acquire. They acquire proof of ability, proof of effort, proof of usefulness, proof of participation. And those proofs create a completely different future. In a post-scarcity information world, the future will not belong to the people who know the most. Knowledge is becoming abundant. The future will belong to people who consistently transform knowledge into contribution. People who create, people who publish, people who solve problems, people who improve a situation, people who participate directly instead of watching from the sidelines. So here's your challenge. Tomorrow, again, before consuming unnecessary information, create and publish one small thing. Then do it again the next day. Repeat that for 7 consecutive days, and at the end of that week, ask yourself, did I spend 7 days watching other people build? Or 7 days building something myself? If you are wanting to stay relevant in a world filled with endless information and endless options, to become someone who contributes more than they consume, subscribe. This is D.B. Lewis, and I will see you in the next one.